I don't mind other guys dancing with my girl. That's fine.
And I'm really excited about the next couple of minutes here on the program because we have a superstar in the house. Robbie Kellman Baxter, author of The Membership Economy, Find Your Super Users, Master the Forever Transaction, and Build Recurring Revenue. Now, Robbie, I could spend a lot of time on your resume, but I will spare all of us because my eyes aren't so good and I can't read it. It doesn't matter, though, because I've read through it. I understand a little tiny bit about what you do, but I really want to hear from you. I love the recurring revenue model. I was just talking about real estate. Yeah. When I get checks in my mailbox from real estate investments, I go, you know what? Once upon a time, I worked real hard for that. Yeah. But over time, I've had the money to hire other people to do this stuff, and I just get the check and run right to the bank. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, that's what we all want, right?
Yeah, exactly. So tell me about yourself and tell our viewers and listeners about you and how you got started in this and some of your experiences.
Yeah, well, I've been a consultant for most of my career, and one of my first clients when I hung out my own shingle was Netflix.
Wow.
So recurring revenue right there. And I, like you, fell in love with their business model.
Did they pay you in stock?
I wish.
Oh, shoot.
Had I been smarter. But you know, what I loved was they did one thing really well, and they got paid on a recurring revenue basis, and they were willing to continue evolving against that forever promise that they were making to their customers. So professionally created video content delivered with cost certainty in the most efficient way possible is what they've always done. And people are willing to pay every month for that. And over time, they've changed how they deliver with, you know, streaming and now creating their own content. But the promise stays the same, and so members stay loyal, and they get the check in the mailbox every month. Okay,
so you need to explain what you mean. You've coined the phrase, the membership economy.
Yes.
What in the heck does that mean?
It's the idea of a business focusing on a forever transaction rather than an anonymous one-time deal, a move away from ownership and towards access. So think Spotify, think American Express, think anything where you have an ongoing relationship with the organization and you pay them on a regular basis.
So a subscription of sorts, if you will. And I've seen individuals do that and become extremely successful, and I've seen a lot of them flop. So what's the difference?
Yeah, well, so first of all, subscription is just the pricing piece of membership, right? I can have a subscription with you and not care about you at all. Membership.
Oh, come on.
I mean, think about those, you know, book of the month clubs. You know, you can have a subscription and not feel any real connection. Membership has an element of loyalty to it. And so that's kind of what makes it different.
The value proposition has to be there, however. So what is the value proposition? Let's create, you and me, a membership program today that'll bring in lots of revenue, and we can share it with all of our listeners and viewers. How's that?
Yeah, that's great.
And everybody can get involved.
Yeah, and you know, the businesses that fail with subscription, because you would ask that, are the ones that don't focus on retention as much as they focus on acquisition. So they're all about getting new customers in, but once they join, they're like, this isn't that great. So I'm going to cancel. And so you lose money on the very first transaction and you don't get a second transaction. And so you end up losing money instead of making money. So when you think about, so for your viewers, if they're thinking about a membership model, what they want to do is start by thinking about what is that forever promise that they can make. So let's say they have a restaurant. The forever promise might be every day you can have a different lunch and we'll take care of you and it's always going to cost the same. And if you're hungry later in the day, you can stop in and get a snack. And
Ooh, you're making me hungry. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and so you say, well, wow, that's about convenience. Yeah. That's about being recognized. That's about, you know, having variety and being known. All of those values come into this that are so much more than just having a restaurant on my corner. I actually feel like I belong there.
Excellent. Yeah, I think the Supercuts franchise does something like that with haircuts. Like if you just need a trim, you don't want to go through the whole massaging of the head and all. Yeah. You just come in, you get a trim, and they don't charge you.
Right, exactly, because they know you. And it's sort of replicating the local, the relationship you have with your local shop owner, but doing it on, in some cases on a really massive scale. That feeling of being known, of being recognized, and maybe even having a little status for your contributions or your achievements.
Robbie Kellman-Baxter. I love the name too, Robbie Kellman-Baxter. You should run for president. Imagine running for president is Robbie Kellman-Baxter. And you could get everybody doing, revenue schemes and making a bunch of money, and you'll stay in office. It'll be like the guy in China. You'll be in office forever.
Forever transaction goes political.
Let's talk about this whole generating a membership economy. I'm assuming that you do a lot online and take advantage of this wonderful thing called the internet.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So membership has been around forever, right? With churches and libraries and, record of the month clubs and all kinds of things. But the internet has really extended the infrastructure that allows for trusted relationships. So organizations that tap into that and leverage that can actually build personalized relationships, ongoing relationships with the people they serve. So you see all of these new businesses starting up. But it doesn't mean that longtime businesses can't apply those same tactics.
How do you start from scratch? Somebody's, sitting, watching us on television somewhere going, geez, I hate my job, but I've got this idea. How do you go from idea to successful?
Yeah, so you want to start with a forever promise. You want to say, what is the thing I'm going to solve for the people I serve forever? Right, so with Netflix, it was about, I want great content to watch when I have free time. With LinkedIn, it's I want to have a place where I can connect with my professional contacts and improve myself so that I can be successful in my career. So you start with something like that. It could be something as modest as saying, I have a car wash and I want to guarantee people that they always have a clean car because that's what people care about. So if you take that example, I've done some work in the car wash industry. Most car wash owners think about it like, I own this car wash and what can I do with it? As opposed to saying, I have these customers who want a clean car, what can I do? Because if you think about the customer first, I don't want to go to the car wash. I would rather just have my car be magically clean. That's the ideal, right? And so you could do a better job for me by coming to my house in the dark of night, cleaning the spots on my car, and I just pay you on an ongoing basis to make sure my car is clean. So if you're just starting out and you have a business, focus on what the customer really needs as opposed to the product you want to sell.
Okay, you got to stick around for another segment because I want to help folks out there make some extra money.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about that. Robbie Kellman-Baxter, the book, The Membership Economy. Find your super users, master the forever transaction, and build recurring revenue. The old-fashioned mailbox money. I don't know about you, but I've already learned some stuff, and I have some ideas. So stick around. 844-RAY-SHOW if you just happen to want to call Robbie and say hi. 844-729-7469. We'll get to your contact info when we get back if people want to learn more. Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Stick around, folks. This is the one talk show you got to tune into every day because for sure when we come back, we're going to help you make better money moves. Don't go away.